Good morning, guys. Louis here from Acorn Hill. Happy 4th of July weekend to everyone. Wanted to put together a few videos for you pertaining to a project that I've been trying to complete, that I first put on the YouTube channel I think on Father's Day. So part 2 of the garden enclosure project would be a series of different segments taken, videos that are taken several days to complete. This will cover me placing the drip irrigation for the garden bed around the Crepe Myrtle, as well as what else? Painting the posts and the framework for the enclosure itself. So I hope you like this video, and I hope everybody's keeping safe for the holiday, and hope you enjoy it.
There are 8 panels of fretwork that will go all around the garden structure. Each fretwork is made up of 4 2x2 pressure treated wood that's supported from the top and the bottom with cedar shingles. They were glued and screwed on and fitted into place.
For the fretwork of the garden enclosure, it required that I have to cut many pieces of 2x2
Pressure treated trellis wood.
They come in 8-foot lengths, and I had to cut a total of 128 pieces at a 10-degree angle so they can go into the design of the fretwork. At present date, I still do not own a sliding compound miter saw, but my very trusty Ryobi circular saw that's been with me for 17 years has done the work, many a work for me, and I figured this new project I will have Ryobi circular saw to help me with it. Now, in order for this to cut a 10-degree angle, I had to come up with a way. I improvised something where I just slide the pressure treated wood. My circular saw goes right on the aluminum track. All it needs to do is just slide on through, and it cuts the wood perfectly at a 10-degree angle. The sliding metal, aluminum metal channels are attached to another 1.5 to about, I'd say, 1.5 inches high on both sides. It's open on the one side, or this could slide through. And I've already marked out where the cut zone is going to take place and where the angle, the 10-degree angle, will occur. That is the 10-degree angle right there. And it will make more sense as I show you a couple of shots on how each wood is cut. As with any circular saw, it comes with this blade guard. I drilled a hole right over here along the top part, the rigid blade guard on top of the circular saw. Then it will hold the blade guard, and it will keep the blade exposed as I safely glide that right over the track. And that's what it looks like once we have the screw already secured. It's holding the blade guard in place, which exposes the blade. The circular saw to be safely cradled right on the track.
Each fretwork panel required 16 individual 10-degree cuts. These 10-degree cuts were put in place, glued, and stapled on from the top, bottom, and all the sides of the 2x2s.
This is still missing a part. I'm planning on putting all the way around this section. That's why there's a square there. I marked it out. There will be just a simple bullnose, a vinyl bullnose that will go all the way around, mitered at 45 degrees.
It's always about the details when I do any DIY. In the center along the fretwork is designed to look like there's a structure that holds all the bars together. So far things are looking okay. They're mitered per corner, and each of these posts will have 4 vinyl molding that will surround them. As you can see, I've already mitered them. I've pre-glued them to see if they're level and even. So this is the side facing. There are 4 sides, of course, and this is the side facing part of our west side garden. This is what it will look, and it's looking pretty good. We just need to do a lot more right over here, do a lot more finishing up. Here in the back, that's the back side of that panel that faces that way, and you can see it's looking pretty finished. Really liking the look of this so far. So this is the latest update. Each square can be taken out. To make it easier for me, I've cut cedar shingle panels. I've cut them to 3.5 inch each deep. So you can see the back side. This is the better view. But you can see all the cuts, those triangular sharp cuts. It gives the illusion that the bracket, it looks like the bracket is holding all the pieces of wood and centering them together, so it gives it that 3-dimensional, well, 2-dimensional look. But it's looking good. Now the next phase of this project is, as you can see, the dirt. We'll be putting the drip irrigation that will surround the inside of the Crepe Myrtle. So what I have over here is a white PVC pipe where we will run through the black poly coming from that part of the garden where we have the original black poly that supplied water to this garden bed. Once we tap that, then water will go through the black poly that's encased in this white PVC that will now run itself and connect to this part of the new garden bed that we're trying to create. So let me set my camera correctly here. I've got my trenching shovel, and we'll do the work of creating a trench so we could hide the white PVC where the black poly will go through. Okay, so after having done some basic weeding, this is the black poly
the black tubing that we will hook the entire new system to. Alright, so I am down here, ground level by the retaining wall, and we are about to tap into this black poly, and we will attach another black poly just like that at a T. And so at this junction, what we'll do is we will cut this black poly and connect this brown coupler, T coupler that will go this way. This has continuous water whenever I turn my irrigation system on demand, coming from an app, using an app on my telephone. So water that we distribute here in the property and on the gardens, they're efficient and we use them on demand. I also will put what's called a stainless steel poly pipe pinch clamps. That way, you know, because they get warm, it's dark and it attracts the heat. We don't want this to bust open, so we're gonna use that as well. So here we go. What I do is I get a pair of this, slide it through the poly first, then slide this on. It's barbed, so that means it won't come off as quickly, as easily, but you never know. So for added security, we put this as a sleeve right at the end of that black poly, and hopefully this will work. One shot deal. There we go. That won't come off. Won't come off as easily. Do it again, one more shot. There we are. We'll do the same thing on this end. Do the other end for the new black poly and do it this way. So that shouldn't come off. This, we're going to put a staple wire, landscape staple, just to keep it in place. Now this black poly that will run through this garden bed and up through the trench that I dug will encase this in a white PVC pipe. Alright, here's another shot. Another couple of hours later. In any case, that's where it's connected, and that black poly, this right here, will go underneath the ground through that white PVC pipe, and that PVC black poly combination goes all the way down and up. Created that trench earlier, but that it's now all covered. And as it's being covered up, this thing just goes out, and now I've created a rectangle. It's connected over here by a T coupler. It's a barb T is what it's called. It goes from here all the way down to there, and then I've got these rings that are used for clamping, keeping it from keeping the whole setup from blowing out. At the end and at the corners of each cut black poly there is an elbow coupler that connects them and creates that nice angle. There's the third one, and the fourth one is over here. This is a Crepe Myrtle. This is that Crepe Myrtle that I've saved up. I did what's called a Crepe Myrtle last spring to create this nice canopy all the way above. So from a distance it looks like a big topiary. I have those pieces of wood that I'm using to separate and stretch out the main trunks of the tree. But so far it's looking good. What we'll do is at the corner, see I've got the bracket over here and the post at the corner. This is where we will have the limelight hydrangea on all four corners. And once they are planted, then I'll show them to you on the final installment of this series. But now, this is what my drip irrigation looks like. At the corners, what we'll do is I will punch at this area and at that length of that side. We'll punch it and attach to it a 1/4 inch drip irrigation, a brown tubing this time. It's a smaller size brown tubing, and I have it over here. It's made by Rainbird. This brown tubing has those emitter holes every 6 inches, and that's what's going to provide a good even water distribution for the plants, especially the anchor plants toward the corners, the limelights.
I hope this gives you an idea on what to do with some odd spots in your garden. We started Acorn Hill from scratch. Doing things customized with landscaping and building makes our backyard really special. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. This is Louie, and we will see you back here in Acorn Hill.